India, late 19th century, a nation under colonial rule, a people searching for hope, a civilization carrying thousands of years of wisdom, and yet struggling to awaken. And then from the city of Kolkata rose a young monk, not with an army, not with political power, but with fire in his eyes and truth in his voice. This monk was Swami Vivekananda. His life lasted only 39 years, but his words still echo across generations. Early life, the child who asked big questions. Swami Vivekananda was born as Narendranath Datta on January 12, 1863 in Kolkata. His father, Vishwanath Datta, was a respected lawyer. His mother, Bhuneshwari Devi, was deeply spiritual. And between these two influences, Narendranath grew into a rare combination of intellect and inner hunger. He was brilliant, sharp, and fearless in thought. He studied at Presidency College and later Scottish Church College, where he excelled in philosophy, logic, literature, and debate. He read Western philosophers, he explored Indian scriptures, he absorbed everything. But there was one thing he could not ignore, one question that kept burning inside him. Have you seen God? And that question would soon lead him to the man who would transform his life forever. Meeting Sri Ramakrishna, the spark of transformation. In 1881, Narendranath met Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans at the Dakshineshwar Kali temple. He asked him the same question he had asked so many others. Have you seen God? And this time the answer was immediate. Yes, I see God as clearly as I see you. Narendranath was shaken. At first he doubted him. He found Ramakrishna emotional, unusual, and even strange. But slowly he realized something powerful. This was not a man who merely talked about spirituality. This was a man who lived in it. Under Ramakrishna's guidance, Narendranath's life began to change, and from his guru, he learned one truth that would become the foundation of his mission. Serving humanity is the highest form of worship. When Ramakrishna passed away in 1886, Narendranath and his brother disciples took monastic vows, and from that point on, Narendranath Datta became Swami Vivekananda. The wandering monk, India becomes his guru. Between 1888 and 1893, Swami Vivekananda travelled across India as a wandering monk. No comfort, no certainty, no possessions, only a robe, a staff, and a searching heart. He crossed cities, villages, mountains, and kingdoms, and what he saw broke his heart. He saw poverty, hunger, social division, and a people who had forgotten their own greatness. He realized something painful. India was spiritually rich but socially wounded, and he understood religion that ignores human suffering is incomplete. India did not need more empty words. India needed strength, self-respect, education, courage, and service. It was during these travels that his mission became clear. He would not merely become a monk. He would become a messenger of awakening, and destiny was preparing him for the stage the whole world would soon watch. The journey to Chicago, faith across the oceans. As Vivekananda's wisdom spread across India, many people began urging him to represent Hindu philosophy at the World's Parliament of Religions in Chicago, America in 1893. But there was a problem. He had no wealth, no security, no official support. Still, he chose to go. With support from admirers like Maharaja of Khetri, Vivekananda gathered enough help to begin the journey. Official support was also given by Professor Wright of Harvard University, Boston. He also became a big admirer. The Chicago speech, the moment that shook the world. Then came the historic day, September 11, 1893. The Grand Hall was filled with religious leaders, scholars, thinkers, and delegates from all around the world. Swami Vivekananda sat quietly in his saffron robes. When his turn came, he rose. There was a silence, a deep, expectant silence, and then he spoke. Sisters and brothers of America. The audience erupted, a thunderous standing ovation. For nearly 2 minutes, They felt love and truth, humanity and connection. He spoke of tolerance, acceptance, harmony among religions, and the spiritual unity of mankind. And with that speech, the world discovered India in a new light. That day, Vivekananda did not just represent Hinduism, he represented the soul of India. And from that day onwards, he became a global spiritual force. Return to India, the awakening of a nation. When Vivekananda returned to India in 1897, he was welcomed like a hero. But he did not return for applause. He returned with a mission. He founded the Ramakrishna Mission and the Ramakrishna Mutt, and their purpose was clear: education, spiritual growth, service to humanity, and national upliftment. Their guiding motto was work for one's liberation and for the welfare of the world. That was Vivekananda's complete vision: inner awakening and outer service. His reflections, the teachings that still shake the soul. A. All power is within you. Vivekananda believed that every human being carries divine power within. He said, all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. But Vivekananda wanted people to wake up and realize that you are not weak. B. Believe in yourself. One of his boldest teachings was, you cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself. That's revolutionary. Because before faith in the divine, there must be faith in your own soul. C. Fear is the greatest enemy. He believed fear destroys more dreams than failure ever does. Fear stops action, fear kills leadership, fear keeps people ordinary. And his answer was simple: face it, walk towards it. Because courage is built only when fear is challenged. D. Work is worship. Vivekananda did not believe spirituality meant escaping life. He believed spirituality meant transforming life. Work sincerely, serve honestly, give your best, and do it without selfish attachment. This was his living expression of Karma Yoga from Bhagavad Gita. E. They alone live who live for others. Perhaps his most powerful message was this: they alone live who live for others. To him, helping humanity was not social work alone, it was spiritual practice. Service was worship, compassion was strength, and love was power. His message to the youth. Perhaps no one inspired India's youth like Vivekananda. He wanted young people to be fearless, disciplined, strong, self-reliant, and full of character. He did not want weak minds, he wanted awakened minds. And so he gave India one of its most unforgettable calls: arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Even today, that line feels like a command to every dreamer. Final years and the Mahasamadhi. Swami Vivekananda continued teaching, writing, and building institutions, but his body slowly grew weaker. And on July 4, 1902, at Belur Math, he entered deep meditation. At the age of just 39, he attained Mahasamadhi. His life was brief, but some lives are so intense that they do not need decades to become eternal. His birthday, January 12, is celebrated as National Youth Day in India. He inspired leaders like Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi, Sri Aurobindo. Swami Vivekananda's life gives us one unforgettable message: do not live weak, do not live afraid, do not live small. The power you seek is already within you. Believe in yourself, serve humanity, stand fearless. Because when one person awakens, a life changes. And when millions awaken, a nation rises. Jai Hind.